Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about mean responses that Jungkook and BTS have gotten, and overall what BTS staff have said to BTS, and why some armies believe it's very rude and mean. I definitely wanted to talk about this. I also want to get into some interesting moments of Jungkook's life in danger and what happened with that. I think you'll find these moments to be very interesting and very telling of how much BTS cares for each other. So grab your dumpling tea spilling mug merch and let's get into the tea. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about here today is kind of what goes on within BTS staff and why some people are finding these comments rude and disrespectful. But before I talk about that, I need to get into some backstory of how BTS was raised and how they view their life. Their outlook on life is extremely different from us peasants, and I think we can learn a lot about how they deal with certain comments. Big Hit is a wonderful agency, and for the most part, I believe their talent or trainees, whatever you want to call it, they are all scouted very young. In this industry, they obviously like people who are very young. I mean, I'm considered young in normal life, but in this industry, I am a dinosaur and might as well be dead. And a lot of celebrities attempt to retire at like 30. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. I'm not 30, by the way. Still a few years away from that. But one interesting concept of scouting idols and trainees at a very young age is the label can kind of mold them into who they should be for the industry. So labels are terrified of scandals, especially scandals that are avoidable. So if it's like a wardrobe malfunction, pretty unavoidable. If it's going to happen, it'll happen. You can't predict it. But what they can predict is how they teach their idols to react to certain things. Big Hit very much raise their men to be humble and not have a huge ego, able to take criticism. And this isn't just taught by their teachers and then they're like, yeah, okay, whatever, and they let her go off and forget about it. It's drilled into them by the people they spend their life with as a trainee, day in, day out. The things they have to say to their teachers, or I'm making this up, but maybe they are told they can't eat until the teacher eats first. Or one that I know is real is that BTS does folder bows to everyone. Folder bows are the biggest form of bowing in Korea. It's a sign of the utmost respect, and BTS was taught no matter the person, no matter the ranking of the person, you do a folder bow. This was ingrained in them to be humble and kind to everyone. And most importantly, when they are humble, there is no reason why they should think they're better than anyone and should not receive critique. So there are times when allegedly a staff will say a specific performance was not good or certain things were wrong with their performance for that day. I think if it was a normal person, you'd be pissed. You'd work on that dance the entire day. You probably thought it was okay, only to hear some staff say that it sucked and you're like, well, can you do better? But that's not the BTS mentality. They see that they can always improve. They don't think they're better than anyone. So they see it as valid critique and helpful criticism. This is why Jungkook cries when he performs and believes he did not do his best, because a lot of celebrities will walk out there and even if they do absolutely nothing, like yes queen, give us nothing, type of nothing on stage, like just air and moldy air if anything, some celebrities will still walk off stage being like, that stage was lucky to have me. But Jungkook and BTS walk off stage wanting notes on how they can improve and do better so they can work harder for the next performance. I think we can learn a lot from this to know that if someone is saying something about you and giving you criticism, even if you don't agree, take it in, thank them for it. If it's an actual criticism, right? Like if they're calling you an idiot and that you should go die, ignore that. But if it's constructive criticism, and even if it's criticism that's phrased in a way that's just unpleasant, like if they said you really messed up the dance, it was awful, the first reaction might be to be defensive, but thank them for it, and then later decide whether that was true or not. Look back at what you did or the performance and determine whether you want to accept it or accept that that person was a jerk. I think BTS does this, and this is why they continue to grow and they continue to be better. I have a lot to learn from this, and yes, ladies, there are men out there that will take their criticism and try their best to improve. Do I do a great job at this? No. I don't do a great job at most things, to be honest. I will think about what I did and try to be better. And I try to not let my ego get in the way. I've admitted I was wrong many times on here. I have no shame in doing that. I'll say it right now. I'm wrong most of the time. But those type of men are not your Chris Hemsworth looking dudes. They're more dudes that look like me. But they exist. We're just not a 10 out of 10 attractive, okay? I love that BTS works so hard and they always continue to, but they gotta rest sometimes. And that makes me feel sad that they'll never feel like they're good enough when clearly they are. Like they're at the top right now. Still treat it as if they're an upcoming artist, waste, which is just awful. Now, while the world doesn't always look out for them, BTS looks after themselves really well. BTS, back when they used to perform for us live in these amazing concerts, I miss seeing them in that environment, and I believe they miss it so much more. But BTS would always do really crazy things for their performances. Performances with like firecrackers or fireworks, or really dangerous things that could sometimes get in their eye or burn them, which I gotta be honest are not even the scariest things they had to deal with. They also have to deal with their dance routine. They'll do flips, and they do things that sometimes require them to do somersaults on the floor or over a table. This can cause them to kind of bend their arm if they don't do somersaults correctly, or it could simply just hurt them if they do it too fast. Also, BTS doesn't always dance on solid ground. They sometimes have platforms that they have to bring out, or specific props that they use. This is just inviting more things to go wrong, because there's so many moving parts. People tend to try to limit the amount of variables and unpredictability in their performances by limiting props. But BTS jumps right into that, and they maximize their props. I'm kidding. But this one moment I'm talking about today is the platform that Jungkook was doing his dance routine on. One moment or one particular song I would imagine causes BTS and Jungkook specifically a lot of stress is the song Dionysus. There's usually this table that is there, and I know a lot of props are fake. They usually are, it's just easier to move and lighter, but I don't know if this is real or not. But the table can appear unstable at certain points, and I think there are usually wheels on them, again, which just makes it easier to move, but it makes it unstable, which is a little nerve-wracking because Jungkook has to stand on them for the dance. Now, I want to be clear, I was not the first person to notice this. Another YouTuber talked about this first before anyone comes for me, but I did think it was interesting because you got a point, it's dangerous. Apparently what Jin does, which is very cute, is that you can see shots where Jungkook is standing and dancing on it, and Jin will keep his arm there, or kind of hold the platform, a little bit. This way it does not move or roll, and Jungkook could dance safely on it. Do I believe Jin was asked to do this? No. I do think he part happens to be right by Jungkook at that time, and he thought it was a good opportunity to just hold it to ensure safety. But aside from the fact that you don't want to see your friend injured, it will be quite difficult for them to finish their show if Jungkook got injured right there. And if I was Jin, I would feel horrible knowing that I couldn't help hold the platform still even though I was right there. Jin is also kind of like a mother of the group. He is a Graisha. He very deeply looks out for all the members. Get you someone like Jin who loves you and supports you. And I mean really like you. See how Jin is literally trying to save Jungkook's life? Yeah, you need a man like that. Otherwise, throw the whole man away. He is not worth it. I hope the members appreciate Jin in this way. They realize he is an amazing human being and don't take him for granted. I can definitely relate in this way. I am that friend that is overly careful. In New York, we don't have glasses or fencing for when the underground train pulls up or pulls off from the station. So if someone was crazy, they could push you right into the train tracks or right on a moving train. I don't know actually what would happen. Would you fly away? But if I see my friend going near, I'll push them away or put my hand in between them and the train. So if someone does push them, my hand hits the train, not them, and I can push them away from the train. So I definitely relate to Jin being worried all the time. It's exhausting, but you gotta be the mom sometimes. You know, when your kids are just so irresponsible. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. As always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check stuff out. I have a lot of videos over there that I can't really post on here. This is due to copyright or getting taken down, so I do keep it over there on my Patreon. You can get reaction videos over there like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can also recommend things we like to see over there. We also have such a fun time interacting with each other over there as well. Link is in the top of the description down below. Also, anything you contribute over there gives back to this channel. I have a video over there explaining that, which is free to watch. With that said, there's two videos that will appear up on the screen at the end of this video, so click on one of those and I'll see you over there. Bye.
The way I would